Sometimes you just need a video title with no ambiguity at all. I'll be hopefully predicting all 18 clubs' best and fairest winners in this video. Make sure you click that like button if you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to join the Daz Talks Footy family. And just before we get started, guys, just a couple of housekeeping things. The first being, I was on the Lace Out podcast talking all things Hawthorn as well as the 2023 season. So Hawthorn fans, more than anyone else, should check it out. That'll be in the description below. And you can also check out Peps, Chris, one of the co-hosts of Lace Out. They do an awesome job over there as fans who just love their footy, which is why most of us do this anyway. We just love our footy. So go check that out as well. They do have a Carlton season preview as well. So if any Carlton fans can go and check out Lace Out as well. I've got the Spotify, Apple podcast links down below. If you don't use Apple or Spotify, that is more than fair enough. You can use your favourite podcasting provider platform to search up Lace Out. Look for that logo. Bam, you're good, you're sorted. The second thing being that for some weird reason, over the last 2 weeks, there are nowhere near enough YouTube timelines that are getting my videos, and I don't really know why. The last few videos, the click-through rate has been outstanding, so I thank you so much for those that are getting the videos, that are clicking on them. The watch time has been extraordinary. Again, I thank you so much for enjoying those if you are able to get onto them. So the previous videos, you can either click my channel name, Daz Talks Footy, or you can go to the description below and look up the last couple of videos, including my All-Australian team prediction, which was really fun to make, so go check that out as well, and an extra contender or pretender talking about the Tigers. All that's done and dusted. It feels like it's been ages since I've been able to talk to you guys. Glad to be back in business. Let's go. Best and fairest winners 2023.
Wrong side for him. Hooks it. Oh! What a ball! Sensational!
The Crows, Jordan Dawson, the new skipper for the Crows, is looking to really stamp his mark even more so than last season. Now, this pick is twofold. Number one, I do genuinely believe that Jordan Dawson is going to win the best and fairest. And number two, for Adelaide to improve as much as they want to internally, Rory Laird cannot be their best and fairest winner. They can't be relying on the bloke in and under getting the footy, and he's not a great kick rawser. If that really is the guy that is going to carry your team forward with another best and fairest, I don't think the Crows are going to be a threat to the 8, let alone the flag. The outside run, the transition running, the beautiful skills, that's what's going to bring Adelaide into more games, propel them into the 8, and Jordan Dawson is that man. I think he's going to thrive with the leadership. Put all those things together, Jordan Dawson, Adelaide best and fairest winner. Brisbane, Lachie Neale, until I see otherwise. Yes, Josh Dunkley, best and fairest winner at the Dogs last year, comes in. I understand that. But Lachie Neale's just one of the best players in the competition. So until he either gets injured, which knock on wood he does not, for a variety of reasons, but mainly I'm not here to hope blokes get injured. What a shit attitude that is. But someone's just got to take it off him at some point. So until they do, whether it's a Hugh McCluggage or, you know, do one of their forwards take off? Does Zach Bailey become the superstar that some people think that he will? And I'm a big fan of Zach Bailey. I'll believe it when I see it. It's a boring pick, but some of them have to be. Lachie Neale. Carlton, Adam Sard, yep. Cripps, Call, Walsh, yep. McKay, yep. Kerno, yep. There's Wiedering, yep. Doherty, yep. Incredible names that you can pick for the Blues. But with Doherty moving up the ground, Zach Williams' ACL, I genuinely think Adam Sard is going to genuinely rip the ever-loving piss out of the competition this year. He's in my All-Australian side, spoiler alert, but there are 21 other blokes that are there, so still go check that video out. His run off halfback, his dash, he did get considerably better in the one-on-one contest last year in terms of his win-loss rate. So whilst, yes, he's not an intercept marking kind of player, he doesn't need to be. He's not losing contests as much as he did, especially in his last year or two at the Bombers. I think he's genuinely in his prime right now. With Walsh's injury, best and fairest winners tend to struggle sometimes to bounce back. And even though Harry and Charlie are going to kick plenty of scores, they're going to need to get the footy somehow. And I think if the Blues are going to concede some inside 50s, which they did at certain points last year, they're going to need a guy to get the ball out of there. And there's hardly anyone better in the competition than Adam Sard, so he's my winner. Collingwood, Tom Mitchell. Yes, in the past I've said that Tom Mitchell for the Brownlow is a sneaky good bet. Now, I have softened on that approach considerably after seeing him play at half forward in the match sim. Now, I'm not going to react to the match sim games, I don't think, at this point. I might have already, depending on when you're watching this video, but at the time of recording, I don't really feel a need for it. It's just a fact-finding experiment, and all the facts that we're finding out generally are which kids are good, who's cherry ripe, and how do the debutantes go. And I don't really think I can bring anything to the table that people watching the games are doing already. So that's kind of where I stand on that. But I can't say Tom Mitchell's going to win the Brownlow and then not win the best and fairest. Yes, it's happened in the past. I think of Jimmy Bartell in 2007, infamously. The man never won a best and fairest at Geelong. Can you believe that? Extraordinary. But Titch, when the push comes to shove, he is going to be at the coalface, at the contest, dishing the ball out. So for that reason alone, yep, they've got Crisp, Dacos, Moore, Maynard even. They've got these guys that could potentially win a best and fairest, but I've got to keep the integrity intact, and I still do believe he can do it. So Tom Mitchell's my winner for the Pies. Bombers, Zach Merritt. Yes, Darcy Parish is the only other guy that I genuinely believe is competing with Zach Merritt at this point, which is still why I've gone cold on the Bombers a little bit in the lead up to 2023, but it's going to be one of those two, right? Like, if I do ever react to this video and it's not one of those two and they both play, say, 20 games plus, it's going to be a shock. It's as simple as that. Mason Redmond last year was awesome. Is he going to be able to replicate that? I'm not sure. Is Peter Wright going to be able to take the steps necessary to go past the Darcy Parish, who had a down year, and Zach Merritt, who had a down maybe first 2 months from memory? I'm not sure. So Merritt or Parish, I'll back in the new leadership. There's this seemingly weird opinion in AFL fandoms that blokes get the captaincy and they take time to adjust, yada, yada, yada. I mean, when you're as good a midfielder as Zach Merritt is, I don't think it's going to affect him too much. So Merritt or Parish, flip a coin, I'll take Merritt. Freo, Andy Brayshaw. I expect plenty of Dockers to take a step up this year, led by Caleb Sarong and Hayden Young. Guys like Heath Chapman, Nathan O'Driscoll, Liam Henry, hopefully. But these guys, again, can hopefully take the next step. Jai Miss can hopefully kick plenty of goals this year. I love Jai Miss as a player. But Andy B is so far and away their best player at this point. Yes, Sean Darcy, well and truly in that conversation as well. How does he go with Jackson? I think it's just going to be more team-friendly. Whatever the Dockers need from their rucks is what they'll deliver. Andy Brayshaw can win games on his own. He's done it in the past. I predict that he'll do it again at times. So, again, potentially a more boring answer, but I'm trying to go 18 for 18 here. I got nowhere near it last year because I tried to get fancy. No fanciness here. Instincts. Let's go. Andy Brayshaw will win Freo's Best and Fairest in 2023. Geelong, Tom Stewart. Again, maybe a boring answer, but Jeremy Cameron is going to absolutely have another great year. I expect Cam Guthrie to have a good year as well. Danger's just been announced as Geelong captain, so a massive congratulations to him as well. Tom Hawke, I don't think is going to play anywhere near enough games to get there, and Tom Stewart is that guy that does miss a game or two there. He really does, whereas guys like a Cam Guthrie don't tend to miss too many at all. But that Cats backline with Ollie Henry apparently heading down there, Asava Radigalia training down there, does he join Sam DeConning throughout? Does Jack Henry play a bit more forward? All these and more need to be asked. There is going to be a little bit of a structural shake-up at the Cats. Now, I don't think it's going to affect them as a team overall that much, but when these things do happen, I think you've got to pick the dependables. You've probably got Jezza, Cam Guthrie, who tied last year, and Tommy Stewart. I'm going to predict Tommy Stewart for this one for a simple reason as it's just what I think. I think Tom Stewart's going to win their best and fairest, and I think he's their best player. Gold Coast, Touk Miller. Now, if I was trying to get fancy like I did last year, I would put Noah Anderson in this spot. Yes, Touk does have a hamstring niggle. That might keep him out of the preseason games. Hopefully should be right for round 1 or 2. Hopefully. So, fingers crossed, the great man who was looking in genuinely ripping nick in the preseason. But he's their best player by far. I don't think Ben King is going to kick the goals necessary early in the year. I think he's got to get back to match fitness, and one preseason game, one intra-club, and one match sim are just not enough to get him into preseason shape. So he might come with a charge towards the end. Yes, you've got guys like Sam Collins who has done really well in the past, but Gold Coast top end does look pretty good. I still worry about their bottom end, and with that reason and that rationality, Touk Miller just wins it again, kind of like Lachie Neale, until someone comes past and takes it off him. The Giants, Stephen Canelio. At some point, these mature Giants are going to have to step up. Guys like Finn Callahan are just not going to be able to carry this team. Toby Green, Josh Kelly, and Stephen Canelio absolutely can. Toby Green told the Rush Hour Melbourne that his midfield days are behind him, and I just don't think in a bad team, your half-forward flanker, as wonderfully talented as Toby Green is, I just don't think that he can win the Giants' best and fairest playing 90% forward of the ball. So it's between Kelly and Canelio. Josh Kelly has been shown to play a little bit on a wing, a little bit half-forward. Does he need to be around the contest? In my opinion, yes, but I don't know. Josh Kelly hasn't really done anything wrong, but he's just kind of there for me. He's a beautiful player, and I like the way he goes about it. He's an excellent kick. But, I don't know, there's just something maybe a bit neutral about him that I'm just not seeing as overly appealing. Whereas Cogs, the comeback story, no longer the skipper. He's going to be loose, he's going to be free. He had a fantastic year last year. I think he goes to that other level. The other guy who might be in contention is Lachie Whitfield due to his role and an intake of confidence, but I just don't think the guy can play 22 games this year. So with all those factors, Stephen Canelio will win GWS's best and fairest. For the Hawks, flip a coin. Jai or James? I'm going Jai. Jai Newcomb will become another young winner of the best and fairest at the Hawks after Jimmy Warple in 2019. Now, I don't think the Duke, the great man, is going to take the step back that clearly Jimmy Warple has in the last 3 seasons that hopefully he can rectify in 2023. But my pure and simple reason for this is Jai is going to be around the footy a whole lot. He hasn't really shown any forward craft, because that's not his role. So every time he's on the field, he's going to be around the footy. The Hawthorn midfield is not going to be great, but he is the best of that bunch. And while Sicily down back did win the best and fairest by a landslide purely because the Hawks conceded so many inside 50s, he has played a little bit in midfield. He's doing some weird things, sis. And again, if the Hawks can find a midfield ball that can help carry them forward, it's going to be better for their development. And Jai Newcomb, in my opinion, will win Hawthorn's best and fairest as, I think, a 22-year-old, which would be extraordinary. Melbourne, Clayton Oliver. They got to figure out Gawn and Grundy, and geez, it looked good against the Saints. Yes, it's the Saints, but when things look good, we're allowed to just say they looked good. We don't need to tear down good performances in footy. Can we stop doing that, please? Yes, Christian Petrarca, Stephen May, all of these guys would be worthy winners. But I'm sorry, Clayton Oliver is their best player. He's not their most important. That's Stephen May. He is their best player. At some point, the Gawn and Grundy combo is going to be electric, and part of that electricity is getting it down to the midfielders. And as great as Christian Petrarca is, I've been a massive fan pretty much since he was drafted, and I was so happy for him when he broke out of that Jordan De Goey type bubble. Yes, he's not the next Dustin Martin, but no Demons fan has the right to complain about what Christian Petrarca has done for that footy club. But Clayton Oliver is the pig, he's the workhorse, and he is the genuine superstar. I like the fact that people are taking swings, saying this Melbourne player, that Melbourne player, but it's Clary. Come on. If he plays every game, just engrave his name. North, Luke Davies-Uniacke. Should have won it last year, in my opinion, but North are just going to have an influx of kids. We're going to see the likes of Will Phillips, Josh Goda, Harry Sheasel. These guys come in and hopefully do very well. I think Griffin Logue is going to have a good year down back. He and Ben McKay on paper are a good key back duo. They just need to get some time together, and of course Ben McKay's signature, uber important at the Kangaroos in 2023, but LDU is their best player. Simply put, yes, Ben Cunnington comes back, and that is absolutely fantastic. Nick Larkey can hopefully provide a focal point up forward. LDU is their best player. Simple as that. If he plays every game to somewhat of his potential, he's going to win it in a landslide. No disrespect to Jai Simpkin, but if I had the choice between the two, I'm taking LDU 10 times a week. Port Adelaide, Connor Rozee. The man is going back-to-back. Not only is he their best player, but the more midfield time is going to suit him to an absolute T. You got guys like Dan Houston, Zach Butters, these guys that have shown really, really good talent in the past. But as far as 22 games are put together, Connor Rozee is just that guy. Ken, if you want to keep your job, do not put him in the forward 50. Ollie Wines need to be at nearly every centre bounce, and you can rotate guys like Jason Horne-Francis, Sam Powell-Pepper, Willem Drew, Travis Boak, Zach Butters. These guys can roll through, of course, but if you're going to win a centre clearance for your life, Connor Rozee is in that mix. He just is. So I think he's going to win Port's best and fairest, and if you want to check out my Port Adelaide Contenders or Pretenders video, you can go and find that. So many people enjoyed it, which I'm extremely thankful for. But Connor Rozee, I'm probably more confident in Connor than a few more on this list. So, Rozee, 2-time Port Adelaide best and fairest winner by the time Port Adelaide announced their best and fairest, whenever that is, because they waited till like January this year to do it, which was really weird. Richmond, Tim Taranto. I can completely understand those that are thinking he might get injured, he might do this, he might do that. But simply put, the last time he was really fully fit, he won a best and fairest in a grand final. So, yes, that was against the Tigers, so he's going there and doing beautifully. Him, Prestia, and Hopper are a midfield three that are going to do fantastically this year. Again, yes, they've got to stay healthy, but 22 games, I think he's going to do well. I think Shea Bolton is really his only big competitor. I think he can kick 55 plus goals this year if he's used in the right way. You got him and Dusty. I think Dusty is the guy that needs to go in as the X factor part of that midfield, and Hopper and Dion Prestia are going to need to learn at times how to play maybe an outside role or have a spell, all of these kinds of things. But Timmy Taranto is coming in with a chip on his shoulder. He won time trials. He's fit, he's prim, he's proper, he's ready to go. I think he's going to do it. I think Taranto 1, Shea Bolton 2, and I'll go Dion Prestia 3, or maybe even Jaden Short, but I'll go Prestia 3 for Richmond's best and fairest. Don't ask me why I'm doing top threes now. It'll be the only time. St Kilda, Jack Steele. Can I just end it here? He's a star. He's the only one that's fit. And St Kilda around the ball is where most of their play is going to be. I don't trust their small forward line. I still think their defense needs some work. And there's not enough X factor in that midfield around him. So, well done, Jack. Another best and fairest coming your way under Ross the Boss. Sydney, Luke Parker. Yes, Callum Mills, very worthy choice here. And I did kind of flip a coin for these two. But Callum, halfback, still an option for him. And I don't think that he's going to be able to have the same season as last year. Now, I think the step back isn't going to be such a drastic one, but where is he going to be able to go with a midfield that is largely the same as last year? I'm not really sure. Luke Parker, in my opinion, is the most underrated player in the game. And I hope this doesn't come across, I should say, as shame or any kind of shade towards Callum Mills. I just think Luke Parker's got one more A-grade season in him, and I'm predicting it to be this one. If you're thinking, Daz, you're a moron, it's going to be Callum Mills, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm backing in Lukey P to really add the cherry on top of a fantastic career. West Coast, Elliot Yeo. Speaking of blokes that are made of tissue paper, this seems like a really weird decision, but my question is, who else is going to win it? Luke Shuey and Tim Kelly have both been injured in the past. Are we really going to back in a guy like Oscar Allen? Not sure. Nick Naitanui just doesn't play enough game time. I mean, take your pick. I don't think there is going to be a winner. And whoever does win the Eagles best and fairest, in my opinion, is just going to be able to play a lot of games. I do like the half-back move for Elliot Yeo at times, which will be able to take the bull-like nature off his body. So hopefully he can stay more injury-free. But I'm a bit higher on the Eagles than most other people in the chat that I had with Smithy on every team's over-under. I confidently went over for the Eagles. Maybe not confidently, but I went over for the Eagles. I just think a good luck with injury is coming after addressing those issues in the off-season. And I love Elliot Yeo. So those reasons, they may not be the most set-in-stone reasons ever, but they're mine. So Elliot Yeo is the winner for me. And for the Bulldogs, Marcus Bontempelli. I think the Bont's winning the Brownlow. Now, that could change by the time I do my Brownlow video, where I'm going to be dissecting a whole lot. But as I sit here right now at the time of recording, okay, don't get that wrong, at the time of recording, Marcus Bontempelli is my 2023 Brownlow medalist. Now, I don't think that's going to help the Dogs a whole lot. I see them as more list holes than the complete package. They've got a lot of tools, guys around the footy. Yes, they let the likes of Dunkley and Hunter go, but I'm just not sure I can see the Dogs being a massive threat in 2023. But when you got Nat Fyfe, who I think Freo finished 13th the year that he won the Brownlow, it is more than doable. And the Bont is a genuine superstar. And I just think he's going to win one day. So the quicker the better, so we can move on to getting that second flag for the Doggies as skipper, which would be fantastic for the town of Footscray and its supporters. But the bloke's a superstar. He is everything that you want in a midfielder. And hopefully his leadership takes the next step, given that there are more young blokes than ever vying for spots in that Bulldogs 22. So that's it, guys. What do you think? Comment below. Let me know. What do I get right? What do I get wrong? Or give me a prediction. How many of these do you think I'm going to get right across the board? Check out the Lace Out podcast. I'd really appreciate that. More stuff coming Work is just getting crazy at the moment. But most of all, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I hope you're having a fantastic week. I will be dropping my Supercoach Classic League numbers in the week to come. And hopefully we'll be able to get another draft going. Maybe just the 8 to 10 teams. We might keep it a bit intimate. We'll see how we go. But all of those updates will be coming soon, guys. Take care. I will see you in the next video. Share this with a friend. Click the like button. Subscribe to join the family. But most of all, stay safe. Goodbye.